should be going. Looks like it is going. Okay. Hi everyone, TigerHawkT3 here. Today is a Python day, but as you can see, the layout is different from what it usually is. And that's because one of the things we're going to be looking at is something that kind of requires a saved file. And let's do that. Here's what we're going to do. The module we're looking at is sys, short for system. So we're going to import sys. And then, how about, this module actually has a ton of stuff in it, but I think a lot of it is stuff that you won't necessarily use, most likely. So we're going to skip it. Today's going to be a nice, short little fun size stream. Only, you know, actually good that it's fun size, because when you have a fun size candy bar, it's bad because you want more candy bar. The king size is the coolest one. Fun size means less fun. Anyway, we're going to import sys, and then we're going to do the following. We're going to print sys.argv. This is pretty handy. Now we're going to do about sys.standardout hello, then sys.exit, and then sys.print print running. Let's see what that does. Let me turn that on. There we go. Oops, what did I do? I thought this was a thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, it's a file handle, right? Here's what we can do instead. It's a file handle, not a thing. Anyway, let's try that again. And now we get a list that consists of one element, and that is the string of sysargs.py. That is the name of the file. And we get hello, because it printed that to the standard output, and then we exited, and we don't see this because it already exited. That's most of what we have. Let's see. Can I change this to standard error? What happens then? I think it's the same thing, right? Yeah. So it printed this to the standard error handler, which is the same thing. It just prints it normally. If you recall, in the Star Trek Online loot parser, I print the progress bar of sorts, just a file number, what's it out of total, to the standard error. So that means if you had redirected the standard output to a file or the clipboard or something, then the progress bar would not go there. It's going to technically a different place. You can redirect both to the same place if you want, but separating the progress bar from the actual results of the program allows that. so we can have just the actual stuff we want to see in one place, and not having any junk from the progress bar. There's also a sys.standard_in, which is actually used in the background by the input function. Sys.exit is how you exit. I think you can also use it to exit the interpreter. Let's try that. Turn this one off, use that. Import sys.exit. And it works. You might have seen me occasionally just do exit or quit, and that quits the interactive session. Those are only for the interactive interpreter session. If you want to exit a saved script, you use sys.exit. So let's see, is there anything else of interest? Not particularly. Very large module though. Let's see if I can do, let's see if I can mess with standard in, because let's do the following instead. Oh, I should probably demonstrate sys.argv some more, because there's other stuff with that. Let me turn off this, turn on that one. Hello there. This is an element. A little shorter. There we go. So now our list has sysargs.py. That is the name of the file. So we have py. We're running the program, and we're not running sysargs.py. We're running Python. And the first argument we passed to this Python program is the name of our file, and then it is going to interpret our file and go through that. And so that's the first argument. And then we have this as an argument, this as an argument, and this in quotes as an argument, because that's how the Windows command interpreter handles that. It's not, here is not Python, it is Windows. So however the terminal you're using handles arguments, that's what you gotta do. Let's see, what now? I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna do, can I do this, I wonder? Does that work at all? I have no idea. For line f, if not line dot strip break, print line plus that. Let's see if this is anything close to working. Okay, let's see what we get. Nope. Maybe I just have to not callable. So let's not call it. Let's treat it as a regular thing, regular handle there. Hi. And then it prints that with an exclamation mark. And it prints with an exclamation mark. Oh, the worked mostly as I intended. Let's do the following. Gonna show you a little something. So it's printing the reproduction of the line that I entered plus an exclamation mark. So we have, I entered hi, and then I pressed enter for it to go, and it got H, I, and a line feed. Because sys.standardin doesn't remove the line feeds for you. It doesn't handle that automatically. If you want tidier handling, you might try input, like you're supposed to use. This, and a new line, and exclamation mark. So there's that, and I have if not line.strip, meaning if we get the next line, and then we strip off all white space, and if that is an empty string, we're gonna have not to make it. That's a lot of stuff in one line, actually. And Ari in chat says, not the line feeds. The line feeds. Reminiscent of Java, isn't it? Where you want next int, and next float, and next line, and this and that, and system.out.print, and system.out.println, and all that wonderful stuff. This is why we don't use sys.standardin and standardout very much, except internally. So I have an if, and if this is truthy, then we will break and stop trying to get new lines. So if this is truthy, we have a not here, so it means if this is falsy. And a falsy string is the empty string. So if we take the line and we strip off all white space, which includes line feeds, then we will be left with just line, which is an empty string, and that's falsy. Then we change it to not, and it's truthy, and this is satisfied, and we break. So basically, if I just press enter without doing anything, see, this is something, and this is nothing, only it isn't nothing. I'm just calling it nothing. And here's the empty string. Actual nothing. Let's see, is there anything else interesting? I could do something different. For line in their input this. Like that. Let me show you that. So here's the first one, that first block. And now I'm going to enter nothing, and that loop is going to end. Oh. Why did it do that? How weird. IO operation on closed file. That's odd. Why is it telling me that? Close this file. Maybe it's the, no, I don't know why. How very strange. Maybe it doesn't like sharing the name or something? Nope. Okay, that's very odd. I iterated over the input. I guess it closed that or something. Let's just comment this whole thing out. Now see what we have. So we have we needed our with context manager, and then we loop through each line in it and check if there's anything in there, and break if there isn't, and otherwise we have to print something. We could also strip the, we could print line dot r strip the new line. Or we could have these two very simple lines that do the same thing. Iter, in its single argument form, produces an iterator out of whatever you pass it. When you give it two arguments, it keeps calling the first argument, hoping it's some kind of function or callable. Inari says standard in is closed. I'm assuming that it closed it and it can't reopen it for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I would think it just, tries again. A little strange. Let's actually... If I put this in here, is that happier? Indeed. So, yeah, it had closed the standard in. I don't know why it closes it and then doesn't reopen it. I would think that it should just open it again, right? No? Makes me wonder whether when you just call input regularly, does it open sys.standardin kind of internally and then never close it or something? I'm not sure. Very strange. But yeah, so all this stuff, or these two lines. So when we call iter with two arguments, it keeps calling the first argument until it returns a value matching the second argument. So we keep calling input, and then we do something with that, and then iter keeps on yielding whatever the value was. So it will call input, and then if you enter something that isn't the empty string, nothing, it'll say, okay, that's line, and then it will print that line plus an exclamation mark, and then it will ask for input again, over and over, until you enter nothing, and then it will say, oh, okay, we're done, and then there's no line, there's nothing for it to iterate over. I mean, it has stopped yielding values, and then you're done. So I think 99% of what most people use sys for is sys.argv. Allows you to get arguments from the command prompt. That's about it. It's handy. It's not necessarily the most user-friendly way of getting options for stuff. You can always make a batch file or alter a shortcut of your file to always add those arguments, and then you have basically a saved configuration-ish thing. I don't know. But it's pretty handy for testing and for simpler programs and learning. There's a separate module called argparse that I think I skipped streaming because I didn't want to. Provides an actual argument parser, so you can enter arguments with a dash, like this, and then dash option 3, and then dash dash flag. You know, if you've seen that sort of thing before, that's how you do it. Yeah, fun size. So that is sys. That is a tiny part of sys, and there's a lot more, but I don't care about it. And so that's it. If you want to learn more about it, you can go Google it. Python sys module in the standard library. And I think that is the stream for today. So thanks for watching. and have a good one.